Lord. And hello, everybody. Welcome to today's Well Women Wednesday. Every Wednesday in January, we're having a conversation about women's mental health. Today is January the 20th, 2021, and we are starting our conversation today. Let me just say a couple of things. Number one, our topic today is setting your intention for 2021. And I want to say a happy belated Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. We celebrated Dr. King's Day on Monday of this week. And actually, I kind of wanted to talk about it. So we're going to talk about three P's: progress. Certainly, we have made a lot of progress. Today is the inauguration of our new president and our first female vice president. Woo! Not to mention, she is a woman of color. So, talk about progress. Yes, we have come a long way. Certainly, a couple of weeks ago, there were some disturbing events at the Capitol, but we're always going to have naysayers. We're always going to have people who are against us. But as far as Well Women Wednesday and women supporting one another, that's what we are about from a Christian perspective. And we want to celebrate women's achievements. And that's what we're going to do today. So we're going to talk about progress, position, and preparation. That's what we're going to talk about today. Well Women Wednesday is brought to you by Gateway of Hope. My name is Dacia Moore. I'm the executive director of Gateway of Hope, as well as a licensed professional counselor. And Gateway of Hope is a nonprofit women's counseling and life coaching center located in the Midwest in Olathe, Kansas. And our mission is to lead women to discover hope, pursue healing, and live in wholeness through counseling, coaching, and support groups. And so these Well Women Wednesday conversations are topics about women's mental health, free topics every Wednesday from 12 to 12:30 p.m. I want to bring your attention to our upcoming Zoom seminar, Lifeline to Hope. If you know of a woman who has experienced job loss or a reduction in hours or struggle internally with her family because of COVID-19, this series, Lifeline to Hope, is especially for you. It's a life coaching series to help women to work through and overcome challenges. So I have put the Eventbrite, oh, let me go back. The Eventbrite Evite, and I'm going to try to put it in the chat after, once we start our discussion so you can go straight to it. But it's going to be on Wednesday, January 27th from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be sure to tell your friends if they're struggling with a reduction in hours, maybe they're looking for another job, maybe during the pandemic they discovered they did not like the job that they have and they want to try something new. This will be a great opportunity for them to learn some new tips. All right, so be sure to join us on social media. That is where we are posting our free events. That's where I post Well Women Wednesday. And so be sure to check us out on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. And these sessions are being recorded. So you can go to our YouTube channel to take a look at the previous Well Women Wednesdays if you missed those. All right, now this is a disclaimer. This is not counseling. This is a discussion. So if you get triggered by something that we say today, be sure to call 911, or there is a suicide prevention hotline. And if it's not that deep, but you're still triggered, be sure that you find a really good counselor or life coach. We'd be happy to help you at Gateway of Hope, but find somebody. There's some excellent counselors in your area. So don't stay stuck. That's what this is all about, is helping women to move forward. And just a reminder, this session is being recorded. All right, so in the last couple of weeks, we have talked about I am and I will statements. And we have Robin, who's here with us. She was new last week. And so, Robin, I invite you to share any of your I am, I will statements. And then Felisa, who's also with us, if you want to share anything about your statements as well as any things that you noticed when you thought about feelings are not facts. They give us information, but feelings can often sabotage us. So, Robin, I invite you to share about your I am, I will statements.
So my I am is peace, um, and I will be peace.
Okay.
So in a lot of situations where there's, high velocity feelings or just a lot of emotion, I try to just be the calm, um, deep breathing, and just help people to calm down so they can think straight.
All right. So you're a licensed professional counselor. So
Right.
when do you use that for your clients, and when do you use that I am, I will statement for yourself?
Good. So for my clients, a lot of times when people come to me, it's really about them not understanding and wanting to change someone else. So the first thing we talk about is really we only have control over changing ourselves and controlling ourselves. We may have influence over other people, but the change really has to be the person. And so just breathing and remembering that brings a lot of peace to people because it takes a lot of pressure off of them. For myself, when I find myself getting upset or angry about something, I stop and just breathe and think, what about this is bothering me so much? And that really helps me break down the feeling and think about what particular thing is bothering me. And then I can turn it around and say, okay, well, that's something somebody else did. Doesn't make them a bad person, just maybe a bad behavior. And that I can then think about, okay, what is mine to do in that? What can I do? And then let the rest go. So,
That is so valuable. I am peace. And what was the other one, Robin?
and I will be peace.
I will be peace. Just saying that gives me a sense of peace. And in this world where there's so much uncertainty, that is so powerful. That is powerful. I like that. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
You're welcome.
That's helpful. How about you, Thalisa? I don't know if you shared your I am, I will statements, but um, any thoughts that you would like to share?
Good morning, everyone. My I am statement is that I have been burdened with some life changing circumstances and events and things, partly from job loss and things due to COVID. And so I was making a transition through life, and some of those choices and things that I have to make a decision of. I chose the words I am free because I decided to let some things go that was affecting my inner peace, and it was also affecting my health, my mental state. And so I just decided to let it go and trust and believe that God has better for me. And my I will statement is I will rise again.
I will what?
Rise again.
Rise again. Well, um, I love those two statements. I am free and I will rise again, because we often, when we're in our negative state of depression or disappointment or whatever, we feel stuck. We feel like we don't have any options, but we actually are free, and we have our individual responsibility to
Mhm.
look at what's in our hula hoop. Like you said, Robin, what is in our control? What is in my sphere of influence? I cannot control other people, but I can control myself and my behavior and my mindset. This whole thing is about setting your intention and resetting your mindset to give you more specificity on where you are going and shifting your mindset to be more helpful to you as opposed to more disturbing. We often disturb ourselves. So I am free, I will rise again is powerful because it reels back the not only responsibility, but the power back in my world that I am free. I will do the best I can. I will rise again. And there's a sense of optimism to it, don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, ladies, I hope you don't mind if I post these. I'm posting every day on social media the various I will, I am statements that other participants have shared. Today is probably a light day because of the inauguration and other
Right.
scheduling conflicts, but in spite of that, we are going to forge forward. So I hope do I have your permission to post these on social media?
Absolutely for me.
Of course. Of course.
Okay, good, good, good. I am, I will. And feelings aren't facts. Let's talk a little bit about that. Last week, that was introduced in terms of recognizing that feelings give us information, important information, but they are not always based on facts. And what is really important when we talk about setting our intention is to live by our decisions instead of by our feelings. Okay. So I invite either one of you to share a time this week where perhaps you started to live by your feelings and then made a decision to do probably or maybe the opposite because you knew that living by your decision was going to help you get to your intended goal. Either one of you have any?
Well, I'll share. I had to really do some soul searching and to just make sure that the decision that I was getting ready to make wasn't just based upon my feelings as to what was really going on with me. Was these the true facts that was really affecting me, or is it just me being in my feelings and my emotions? And it was indeed uh, true facts that it was affecting my overall well-being. And so that's why I made the decision that I made.
Okay.
Mm.
Robin, you have anything you want to share?
Yeah, I was just sitting here and trying to think if there was any particular point. I think I always go here um, when it comes to food. I know that sounds really funny, but the feelings of I've had a really long day. I deserve this cookie. I deserve this thing, and then thinking about, is it going to be beneficial for my body? Is it going to be beneficial for my life? And so I really have to stop and think: am I eating, to fill a void, or am I eating because I'm trying to help my body? So, and I'm terrible at it. So I'm practicing a lot. So
To add something to what Robin just said, I'm so glad that you brought that up too, Robin. Is that had I not been fasting and what I was going through, I'm sure I would have totally turned to God. I mean, I would have totally turned to food instead of let my decision being God driven. Because I know me, I mean, still, even in my mind, I was like, well, if I wasn't on this fast, if I wasn't fast, I mean,
yes.
and that's just in all honesty. So I was truly glad that I am in a season of fasting to where I had to just totally rely on God and say, okay, God, I need you. I'm struggling with this.
Yes. Every day, every decision, every
Yes.
meal.
Yes.
Well, food is so comforting. And I have noticed that when I am stressed, I look
The
for
wrong
sugar or
food.
salt.
See, the wrong food.
So, but the whole point of this discussion is to bring the awareness to ourselves of, um, in psychology, I think it was James Watson who came up with the stimulus response. Now there are other psychologists. Oh, what's the guy's name who did with the dogs? It's
Yeah.
escaping me right now.
Pavlov.
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 I was going to say Piaget, but I'm like, that's not right. Pavlov. But
It's another Pete.
that's another P. But there is stimulus. We get stimulated. We get triggered. And then there's our response. And in between stimulus and response, there's a hyphen. And it's in that hyphen that we want to stop and think and pray, because we want to be mindful of our response and intentional with our response. Most of us go from being triggered to chips, to cookies, to drink, to shop. We feel the feeling and then we respond or react actually. And oftentimes that reaction can cause us more trouble in the long run, weight gain,
Yep.
overspending, bad relationships. You say something in the heat of emotion that really, you can't take those words back. So in this Well Women Wednesday, in this conversation about women's mental health, it's really an attempt to continue the conversation and bring to all of our awareness levels that hyphen that we need to stop and think and pray as Christian women and decide, okay, do I need to eat this? What is my motivation? Is it because I'm feeling anxious or sad? And if I'm feeling that way, is that really true? Or is it just I'm in my feelings? Yeah.
Mhm.
So there is great value in stopping and pondering, contemplating, thinking about, praying through before you do what you normally do. But that takes time to develop that habit.
And I think it comes back to that freedom, right? We're free to eat whatever we want. But with freedom comes that responsibility of the repercussions of that. And I think just remembering that. And for me, it's more preparation. I mean, junk food is much more easily accessible than healthy food, unless you've done the work of cutting up those celery sticks and the carrot sticks and the stuff that is good for your body. Unless you've taken time to do that, it's not as easy as grabbing the chips.
Right.
So it's investing in that time.
Yes, absolutely.
It's practice. It's an ongoing thing.
It's
totally
an
agree.
ongoing thing. Yes, absolutely. Well, let's continue on. We are here until 12:30, so we've got about 10 minutes left. And I have a couple of things that I want to be sure and share with you. And it's progress, position, and preparation. So I've talked a little bit about progress. We have made great progress in the United States of America as it relates to racial equality, gender equality. Now we have a long, long way to go. Women still only make 86 cents on the dollar that a man makes. Women of color, 68 cents on the dollar. So women have a long way to go. And certainly this summer and in 2020, this past summer, and actually the whole year, we saw a lot of racial inequality. We saw it a couple of weeks ago, quite frankly. So we have a long ways to go. But I did get the opportunity to watch the inauguration, and many people talked about striving for a more perfect union. So we are making progress, and that is important to acknowledge. I would not, me being here on this call is progress. Actually, another thing that's progress, this is my iPhone. I watched the inauguration on my iPhone while I was sitting here preparing for you. That's progress. because last year I could not watch live TV on my iPhone. I don't think they had that set up yet. You had to download an app. So progress is happening all of the time, and we have to keep moving forward. We have to keep staying connected. We have to continue conversations, and we have to pay attention because progress is very subtle, and you really don't recognize it until you look behind you and you say, wow, we've come a long, long way. So in next week's session, we're going to talk about progress. I am interested to know what progress you have made. What are you most proud of in your life, professionally and personally? I want you to share the progress that you've made in both of those categories. This will be for Thalisa and Robin. This will be your assignment, if you will. And I hope that you are back next week to share that with us. But I want to talk a little bit about position. So we had staff meeting yesterday, and one of my staff, Kim Cox, gave a beautiful devotion that I wanted to share with you because I absolutely can relate. So I'll tell you my story, which is parallel to Kim's story. This past Sunday, I was watching my church service, Sheffield Family Life Center, on Zoom. Love to watch. I love my church. I miss going, but I'm just not comfortable going in person yet. So I watched my 9 o'clock church service, then jumped over to TD Jakes, and then jumped back to Sheffield. And so I curled up in my bed and was laying down watching the church service. And guess what happened? I fell asleep. And when I woke up, they were clapping and praising God and saying, wasn't that a wonderful word? Oh my God, that was a word from the Lord. And I'm like, I missed it. What did they say? What did they say? And Kim brought up the idea of position. I was not in a position to receive because I was lying down, and the lying down position is a position to go to sleep. So when we think about position, are we positioning ourselves mentally, spiritually, and physically to receive what the Lord has for us? Because I tell you what, ladies, from now on, when I watch my church service, I'm going to be sitting up at my desk in a position to receive. Not lying down in my bed in a position to go to sleep. And so that really hit me because it is a great object lesson for asking ourselves, are we positioning ourselves to be successful? You know, this Well Women Wednesday is a setting your intention. You can set your intention, but are you positioning yourself to move in that direction and to get to that destination that the Lord has for you? Any comments or thoughts about that?
My intention is always to be present, but that's not my outcome a lot of the time. My focus on getting things done and being getting progress and stuff like that sometimes distracts me from paying attention. So here, perfect example, my husband and I watch shows on TV, and at the same time I'm watching that show, I'm also playing a game on my phone. Well, what happens is I'll end up going, oh, what just happened? What did he say? Right? Because I'm not paying attention to the show. It's like noise in the back. Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes we do that with life, is we're busy doing something else instead of paying attention to those things that are right there in front of us. We do that with people. We do that with God, as far as like you were saying, Dacia. I think we get distracted. And so positioning ourselves not to get distracted. purposely putting ourselves in an upright position, right?
Yes. Purposely putting ourselves in an upright position, purposely listening with 100% intention and attention to the
Right.
person that's in front of us. I think one of the things the Lord has been teaching me over this past year, because I'm very task oriented as well, is people over tasks. People over tasks. And when there is a person who is either on the phone or in my office, to stop and take the time to listen. Let's say it's a staff member who's venting or sharing, to listen with attention in the position of listening. You know, how do we listen? Do we listen by, I'm writing or I'm on my phone? No, we lean forward, we have eye contact, and we are truly 100% attentive and there. And I think we certainly with the advent of all of these devices, it is appealing to think that we can multitask, but there is no such thing as multitasking. You are really doing several things quickly at the same time and able to switch, but the brain can really only focus on one thing at a time. So really, maybe again, reeling in our, I don't know if it's ambition or it could be anxiety, it could be the desire to do many, many things, and just slowing ourselves down to position ourselves to listen, to hear, and then to do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and how much more do we pick up from nonverbal, right? So really, if somebody's right in front of you and they're talking and you're not looking at them, you're missing more than half of the conversation.
Yeah, yeah. So next week, we're going to get into more about progress. Again, I've asked you to consider your personal and your professional progress. And I want you to think about position. Are you positioning yourself for what it is that you're moving toward? And then we also will talk about preparation. So we did our discussion already, and we'll certainly circle back next week to share from other folks who join us next week if they have some things that they want to share. And then next Women Wednesday, which is January 27th, we're going to do part 4 of setting our intention. And again, progress, position, and preparation. So be sure to join us on social media. This recording will be up on our YouTube channel in the next few days. And so we invite you to go to the YouTube channel and enjoy it. And then next week, again, we're going to talk about position, progress, and preparation. And we really need to talk about destination as well, but that may be for February. So that is it for our Well Women Wednesday. It is 12:28. So we have a couple of minutes. Thalisa, is there anything that you want to say in terms of parting words?
I just want to say that this was very helpful and to help me line up and stay focused. I look forward to the Well Woman Wednesdays.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me too.
Okay, good. Well, we're going to keep it going. February, we're going to talk about discontent, discouragement, depression, and disappointment. So we've got some things to discuss in February, but we're going to get through January 1st. So enjoy the rest of your day, ladies. God bless. And
thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye.